So just a quick walk around with the garden as it is, such as it is, coming just past the vernal equinox. It's my pyracanthus. It seems to have weathered the winter quite well. It's got lots of little buds on it. I think it's going to flower. Probably, I don't know, not having had one of these before. I suspect next week or two. The Eryngium is doing quite well. That's sea holly. It's starting to seed. I've heard rumors that it likes to overseed itself and gets everywhere and becomes a pest. Not quite there yet, but a little bit of weeding would fix that. The little green penguins, Picea, was it? I'm 3 beers in, so I can't recall the botanical name, but they're quite lovely. And I've ordered 2 more that are gonna go in this garden here. Don't know why I didn't order 3 to start with at least, but hey, there you go. Agapanthus I brought out. I didn't care to harden them off with the sun. They were in the garage all winter, so they're a little bit sun damaged, but there you go. What are you gonna do? We wish them well. The clumping monarda that I planted here, apparently there's a new meaning to the word clumping, of which I am not aware. It's running at the root everywhere. I do love it. The bees love it. I'm gonna have to deal with it this year. The Tamukiyama maple, weeping maple, that's just wonderful. It survived the winter there. Its first winter in the ground here. We'll see how it does this summer. It should do well. And that's was one of my experiments last year. I don't remember what it was, a rose. It was like a $5 or $6 rose at Home Depot or Lowe's or one of them. And yeah, it survived the winter in a pot, which I should not have left my pot out all winter, but I did. And well, you might see the damage on something else I left out all winter that I should not have. But oh well. Again, some more Monarda. That it's a wonderful shade of blue, purple. Boy, I can't remember. This big guy here, that's the Echinacea gigantica, and we'll see if that's the right place for that to be planted. We'll revisit that later. The daffodils, 99.9% of the daffodils have done their thing for the year. There's still a few here that don't ask me what the names are. I don't know. I could make things up and tell you, but the honest truth is I'm a plant it and forget it kind of guy. Some Aquilegia there. That was yellow. I think that's a yellow one. Some iris. The iris are looking like they're going to be interesting this year. This guy right over here, I don't know whose god I pissed off, but he blooms in November, which is that's all I got to say on that. I don't know about that. We'll see how he does this year. The Picea Abies Golden Falls, I think it is just beginning to come out with its new growth for the year. In a week or two, this will be spectacular. The new growth is just such a bright green. Chartreuse, I think, is what it is. I need me a chartreuse microbus, and we'll be good to go. The hostas, unnamed names have been lost to history, are coming up. They all came from my old house. Some more Aquilegia there, some more hosta, another Echinacea here. This is a purple ghost. This is an Acer palmatum purple ghost. Yeah, you probably don't get a good view of it, but it's got a spectacular, subtle shading of it. So my plan is I'm trying to train it up so I'll have that purple color, that red color in between the two greens here. I'm not sure how far I'm going to train that up, but probably at least to just over the top of the window there to the capstone. And so I'll have to come out here and take out some of these lower branches. And you got to be ruthless when you're trying to shape things, when you're trying to prune things. You just do. I tried not to be ruthless, and I always lose if I'm not ruthless. So there you go. Some more Aqualegia coming up from seed. We'll see what that looks like this year. Have no idea. Again, there's another Agapanthus that's in the garage, overwintered. This is kind of the northeast side of the house, so it doesn't get as much sun this time of year. So it's hardening off on its own, even though I just slapped it out here. Some of they still be back there. I may have planted it a bit too deep way back when, but that plant, that rhododendron was too small. That's like Pride of Mobile something. We'll see if it blooms this year. It's supposedly bred for heat tolerance, which we need here, but it doesn't do well in the cold, and all the buds die off. So it looks like some may have survived this year. We'll see. Rhododendrons typically bloom around the end of April, May timeframe here, so we'll see how that does. Again, another rhododendron I brought from my old house, native rhododendron, or excuse me, native azalea. It's in the rhododendron family, the name of which is lost to the ages. I can make one up, but we'll call that Dave's Fancy. Okay, that's what it is. I don't know what it is. Another one of the Mobile rhododendrons, and all the buds on it were killed off, so we'll see. This is Limelight Treeform Hydrangea. It is just spectacular. It does very well here. It was originally over there where that Tamukiyama is, and it got too much sun all day. It just baked, so it gets shade in the afternoon now here. Again, some of the Monarda that I really sort of kind of love, but well, not I love, but I sort of kind of regret planting. They just go wild. I think this is my last year. I think I'm going to have to be brutal and just take it out. Those three empty looking buckets are a hosta that I bought at the end of last year, September, October, and it just had the most beautiful shade of purple flowers. Hostas aren't typically known for their flowers. Had phenomenal flowers, and me, like a fool, decided I was going to be clever. Chopped it up last year before the winter, and I should have just let it overwinter as a single plant and divided it this spring, but I didn't. So we're gonna see if they come back. Again, some more of the late blooming, some of the late season daffodils. I actually did do that on purpose. I did buy some early season bloomers, mid season bloomers, and late season bloomers. I do plant things occasionally, but more or less just like to see nature happen. The Echinacea purpurea coneflowers are just coming out of hibernation. They love that particular spot there. I try not to fertilize them. From what I understand is they don't like much fertilizer. They just like to grow, so I don't fertilize them. This is Bushman's Lace. Picea pungens, is it? Someone will correct me, I'm sure. But it's, as you can see, it's coming out. It's coming out for the spring. That's pretty good. Another Echinacea gigantica. And the funny thing was, last year, I grew them from seed last year. I started them in the spring, and I did not expect them to bloom, and that had some pretty tremendous blooms on them. I'm thinking this year may just be much more spectacular. There's another one of the hostas that I did surgery on. I think on one of the plants it actually has the name of it. I think this is the original plant pot. And it is guacamole. Okay, so we'll see. Holy guacamole. We'll see if that does well. I hope it comes back to life because it was just gorgeous. It was just fantastic. That sad looking little thing that was attacked by the deer is just an encore azalea. We'll see how it does. I have an azalea over there that you probably can't see very well. I had another one planted there. The deer ate it down to a nub. I'm trying to rehab it. I've got it in a pot. Back there in the corner is another one of my $5 roses experiments, and it survived. So holy cow, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. This is Picea. Again, now I'm 3.5 beers deep. So this is Ruby Teardrops. And if you see, the new growth comes out red. And it's just it's a couple of days, maybe a week away. That's a little small one there. I bought 2 to see if they would, because we're supposed to be zone 7, but we're elevation here is a little bit higher, so we're like 5. We typically get 5 degrees colder than the surrounding areas, and all this new zone USDA zone things. We were 6, so I thought I could buy them. And then they updated us to zone 7, which I disagree with, but well, it is what it is. They go on average temperatures over the last 35 years or some other stuff. So I bought 2, this one and this one, just to see if they would survive, and they did phenomenal for 2 years. Then I tried to buy another one, and they were all out. And I was able to find a small version, a little 1 gallon. These were 3 gallon ones when I bought them. That's a little 1 gallon one that's just, he seems happy where he's at, but they just grow slowly. And that's why I bought them. And in the background, it's just a Globosa, Picea, Globosa, blah, 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 I can't remember. These are the little creeping phlox. The deer tend to munch on them. They've been in here since I moved here. The thought was that they would grow over this little wall here, but the deer keep coming by and feasting on them. So yeah, that's probably never going to happen. This is my nasty, dirty bird feeder here. It was kind of chipped last year, and I left it out over the winter and it froze, and well, we know what happens. Well, you can see what happened. So I'm going to have to replace it. And there's a couple places in town that have some pretty nice ceramic bird feeders, so I'll buy another one. It was like $100, and I've got 4 years out of it. So I still hate that it happened, but you know, there you go. What are you gonna do? I wish them well. So back in the corner there, that's the Fatsia japonica. A friend of mine gave me a year or so ago, and I brought it in the house the first winter because I was convinced it would not survive the winter here. But he convinced me that when he was in Japan, he was a monk. He was in a monastery in Japan, and they had these Fatsia japonicas everywhere, and they survived the snow and the monkeys and all that kind of fun stuff. So I stuck it here, kind of a protected area from the wind and such, and it survived. I'm not sure that's where it's going to live. I think I'm going to put it somewhere else because it's getting kind of crowded in there. Got a little clematis back there that was a Walmart rescue from last year. I potted it up and grew it last summer, took care of it, babied it, and now it's in the ground. Another rhododendron that I don't remember the flavor of. This is my Edgeworthia, the Chinese paper plant. I think Chinese paper plant, they call it, common name, but it's Edgeworthia. It's spectacular. I hacked on it because this is not the place for it. It just is going to get too big. I thought I could prune it up over top of these rhododendron that are here, and I still may be able to do that. I may let it go one more winter. I may see how it grows and just prune it up super high and have a really high topped plant, but I don't know. We'll see. This is Jetalo Orange, Weeping Acer palmatum. It's a beautiful tree. Again, I may have. Oh, there's another. That was the azalea that was chomped on over there by the deer, and so he's rehabbing back there. We'll see how he does. It's a constant battle with the deer. I have clematis here. I just trained it over here to the hand railing. We'll see if that was a good idea or not, but this is its third year in. As they say, first year sleeps, second year it creeps, third year it leaps. I think this is a leaping year because it's just going crazy. But it blooms, I forget what flavor it is, and it blooms. It has a pretty long bloom season. So again, it's right here. It's easy to train. It's easy to manage. I could just get out here and chop it back whenever I need to. This is on the front porch. Pansies did pretty well over the winter. The weather's warming up a little bit. They're looking a little bit more healthy than they were. They were kind of frozen back this year. Not all of them survived. I had far more colors than that, but it is what it is. It's pretty. A little bit of color over the winter. We'll have to pull them out and replace them. Little hydrangea there. I don't remember what it was. I can't remember if that was one my wife bought for me or I bought it, but there you go. It's coming back. I've got its sister, brother over here. It's not near as happy. And these damn Monarda, they are truly invasive. I was the hubris of a young man that I could control them, and I can't. So I got to get out here and start pulling them. Or worst case, I gotta have to spray them. I don't want to do that. So these hollies, I forget what they're called. These columnar hollies, Sentinel, Sky Pencil. They're called Sky Pencil. These were two of the contractor plants that survived, that I kept and didn't die until this winter. This one died. Don't know if you can tell, but it's just looks really rough. There's a lot of crunchy dead leaves on it. I'm going to see if it recovers. I don't know what happened to it. It gets plenty of water, gets plenty of sun. It's been happy here for 5 years until it wasn't. So we got that going. There's a little better shot of that Jetalo Orange. Don't know if you can see it, how it contrasts with the brick, but it does. Burford Hollies, back there, got another clematis back there. It's a white one. Again, forget the flavor. Don't know that I ever knew it. There's another Walmart rescue, but it seems to like it there. It seems to be happy. This is a blood-good maple, Acer palmatum. It's don't know how well the contrast shows up. But this was the original one that was planted here by the builder. Was a blood-good maple. I approved it, and they just didn't do me like a dummy. Didn't replant it. I should have dug it up, replanted it. They just stuck it in a bunch of muck and dirt and concrete and gravel, and it died. Surprise, surprise. So I dug a big hole, cleaned it out, Bought another one. It's been here for about 3 years now, and it seems to be very happy so far. This is a cypress, weeping cypress I bought. I was kind of worried about whether or not it would come back. I don't know why I was worried, but I was. It's kind of wet out here in the front. But he seems happy. He's coming back to life. A magnolia, my yellow magnolia, I think it's called Miss Elizabeth. I can't remember. It only had 4 blooms on it. 3 of them are gone. Got the one. So as it matures, I think it'll be a much nicer addition to the landscape. It's different than the purple magnolias we get around here. So these rhododendrons are, again, forget the flavor. I've got the ticket in the garage somewhere. But the ones that I planted here a couple years ago were rated to 0 degrees. And they just got blasted every winter. Maybe I'll show you if we walk around that way. I dug them up. They didn't die, but they just look awful, and all the buds were killed. So if this brand's supposed to be good down to -30. I know we had temperatures down to 0 this year. Official down to 0. I think it was colder here. Again, we're up on a little mountain. We're about 5 or 10 degrees colder in the winter. 5 or 10 degrees hotter in the summer sometimes, it seems. These are some tulips that I had planted last year, and I thought I'd try an experiment. And I had them in pots because they don't do well here. It doesn't get cold enough. They don't get enough chill hours. So I pulled them out and dried them out a bit and stuck them in the refrigerator for the winter in a box. And they came out and they sort of kind of did all right. Now I did the same thing with some over here, and they just didn't quite make it. They haven't come up, so oh well. I don't think I'll do that again. Oh, here's a better example. Some that sort of kind of worked. And I don't know why. I did have them separated by color because these were for LSU. Yeah, all right. My wife got her master's degree from LSU, so forgive me for that. So that was for her. So LSU is tougher. Got some echinacea down there. Crimson Queen maple right here. It seems to be happy here. It's getting bigger, and not much to say there. It's doing well. The Weeping Passia abies is a full moon, Jordan full moon, Japanese maple. You can kind of see now where I'm going with this. We've got the maple on the left. It's escaping me. That's the one the Japanese beetles love. That's the only one they infest. But I've got that, the red, the bright green, the weeping green, which I think I'm going to let it go this year. Then I'll just make it full weeping. And then the red, the Japanese, the Crimson Queen. So I got that going. So over here, got the camellias that have died once. They're coming back. They don't know how great they look, but we'll see what they do. I got that little ginkgo in there. I don't know if you can see that. That was actually a free gift from someone from one of the places I ordered from. We'll see how that goes. Again, the remnants of the daffodils, they're just, it was a nice season. I'm going to have to, again, not planning. I'm not a designer, not a garden designer. All those daffodils, I think, I don't know. I was thinking I needed to pull them out. But I'm thinking they need to stay there. We'll see how that goes. It looks kind of interesting. So I can walk around to the other side of the house. And the hollies here on the little slope next to the garden, or excuse me, next to the driveway, are doing well. That's the Althea up there. We'll see how that does. These were all like $5 back before Lowe's changed their dead plant pricing to where they used to mark them for like $1 or $2, and I would buy them like crazy, and now they're like half price. It's like, oh, you want a dead plant that was $15? Well, now it's still $8. Yeah, I'm not paying $8 for a dead plant. Anyway, the name of this Japanese maple eludes me at the moment. The azaleas over here and the rhododendron came from the old house. This is a Siriu maple that was planted where the weeping cypress is because it just got too wet, and it looks much more healthy and happy here. Spent the winter in a little pot there. Still not quite sure where I'm going to plant it. It may go over here somewhere up on that little slope. We'll see how that does. That's a native azalea, Miss Mary. It was not happy where it was at, so no, that's not Miss Mary. That's don't remember what that one was. That was out front where the purple ghost is now. But again, it was half alive, half dead, however you want to look at it. Some people say the glass is half full. Some people say the glass is half empty. I say the glass is twice as big as it needs to be. So there you go. That was the Japanese umbrella pine. Again, it died a couple years ago, or got knocked way back. It's still living. I guess I got to get it in the ground this year somewhere. This was a seedling holly that I brought from my old house. Didn't survive the winter. I could get in there and rescue it, but I don't know if I want to deal with the hassle. Again, just some Echinacea gigantica and some miscellaneous Echinacea in here. This is looking rough. Haven't done much this year to get started. Another Agapanthus that brought out and didn't really harden it off. These are the two rhododendrons that were out front, and you can see they just look kind of rough. They did not do well there. They all summer long they were like, they put on growth and they were happy and green, and then once the snow and the ice and the 0 degrees came, they gave up the ghost. That is an Emperor 1 Japanese maple. They tolerate the sun and the heat very well. It's doing very well. It was a little seedling when I planted it. Well, more than a seedling, but. And that was another Emperor 1. And the green one, again, the light green one, I can't recall. This is one of the Confederate azaleas. It's orange. It's on its last leg. This is its last season. I've got to propagate it this year. I keep saying that. I brought it from my old house. I've got to propagate that. That's another native azalea that just doesn't seem happy there. I'm not sure where to put it. That is called, I forget the botanical name, but it's called butterfly mint. Had it last year. It was spectacular for the pollinators. It was just buzzing like crazy. So with mint in the name, I shouldn't be planting it there. I'm hoping it's not really mint because the stems are not square, so maybe I'm hoping that's just a name. We'll see how it goes. It overwintered. I planted it here. This is the Lion's Head Shishigashira maple. Again, it's done well here in the heat. I had it on the patio over there for 2 years in a pot, and it survived. So I figured if I put it in the ground, and the Japanese maples and the rhododendrons have very fibrous roots, so they're not gonna like dig into your foundation. So you're don't take my advice if anybody's watching this, but I know there's like probably two people, me and Steve, watching this. Just kind of yeah, you should be okay with the fibrous root system next to your foundation. And again, some Monarda down there, and all these little weedy looking things. It's called, I forget the name, the botanical name, but I know it is Missouri primrose. And I think that was a huge mistake putting it there because I didn't realize how invasive it is. But that's those little pink flowers you see along the roadsides all over the country. That's them, and I'm afraid I'm gonna have to deal with that. Oh, look, the deer. The deer have been over here on the lilies already. And got some onion again. Three and three quarters beers deep now. Not recalling that. Here's the Eryngium. It's seeding. This was a seedling I brought over here and nursed it through the summer last year, and it's seeding like crazy. I love that plant. It looks like something out of Jurassic Park. I think it's awesome. We'll see how that goes. Again, some Echinacea gigantica. They're really coming into their own this year. There's some salvia here. What is the onion? Oh, they're never mind. Some salvia. This is summer gold. Now this is like my due south part of the house, and it bakes here. So we're gonna see how this guy does this summer. It'll probably get kind of crispy because it's first year in the ground and it won't be established. But I'll keep him watered, and I just need some way to kind of like give a little bit of shade to this side of the house, give a little bit of structure during the summer. And we'll just see how it goes. And again, this whole thing is just like really rough. I've got to get in here. There's some echinacea over there. All this bee balm, the Monarda has to go. There's another clematis there that seems really happy there. And maybe next week I'll walk. Oh, there's the Japanese maple. Excuse me, Japanese cherry trees they're pretty much done. Last week they were just gorgeous. That one and that one over there, and the Sangu Kaku right there, kind of in the foreground in that shot. That holly is just, again, was eaten by deer, but it's just the pollinators are going nuts on it. There's another purple ghost. I don't know, you might be able to see the color a little bit better here. I got two of them. It's spectacular. That little Japanese maple down there is called Celebration. It has similar color characteristics. I guess the thing that people like this for is this time of year, the interesting color when it comes out, it kind of turns a generic, red maple, purple maple as it matures through the season. But right now, it's just interesting. It's called the ghost because it has these veins in it, and it's just, you kind of get a ghost of the color, I think, is what it is. But it's a beautiful thing. And I've had it in a pot for like the last 2 years. I get it from Mr. Maple. When you get them, if you order from Mr. Maple, and they're fantastic. Yeah, I've had no problems with them. But don't put them directly in the ground. I did that the first year, and none of them survived. But then I realized, well, these things are really small. Let's put them in a pot. That's about the size they come. That's 1 year. This one's 2 years. So they really take off and give them a chance to establish themselves, get acclimated to your climate, and put them in a pot, put them somewhere where you think they might grow, see how they do. You can move them around if they don't do well. But yeah, this thing was like a little twig, kind of like a celebration when I bought it. And now it's spectacular. Got the lemon and lime trees. I almost sort of kind of wish those guys would end their joyous time on this earth, but I just can't give away or get rid of something that's still living. Our little island down there is just rough. The deer just like to graze down there and eat everything. So anyway, I guess that's it for March 30th, 2025 here at the Casa.